Welcome. Thank you for joining Planning for Work-Based Learning Part 2. In this video, we'll build on our understanding of the basics of work-based learning and dive more into impact and understanding of the work-based learning experience. Just as a reminder, the approach of work-based learning involves students exploring career aspirations, building career skills, and developing professional connections. All aspects of work-based learning engagement should explore one or multiple of these cornerstones for all students to really have a college and career readiness experience. In the next few slides, we'll explore how these are implemented throughout the work-based learning continuum and how they showcase themselves throughout different work-based learning experiences. In part 1 of work-based learning, we talked a lot about planning early and planning intentionally. However, we know that this goes much deeper and involves so many stakeholders to really pull off an engaging and impactful work-based learning experience. As seen in this graphic, work-based learning occurs yearly, evolves with needs of partners and students, and takes multiple stakeholder approaches to really be a success. Academy leaders must identify needs and interests of students early to build stakeholder base for work-based learning engagements. Seen in step 1, this is the base of all work-based learning. We suggest that you survey your students to understand their career interests, analyze work-based learning data, identify gaps in the continuum or experiences that your students had in the past, and intentionally align these experiences with specific aspirations of your students, skills you know they will need in your industry, providing them with the ability to make connections throughout their experiences. After identifying needs and gaps in your work-based learning plan, we really encourage you to reach out to stakeholders. These can be advisory board members, industry partners, or community members that can speak to the student experience and provide those intentional ways for students to build skills and connections. Involve them in your work-based learning planning and the team approach to the work-based learning calendar, and really solidify these plans early in your school year. Your stakeholders may have unique training abilities or unique ways to weigh in, so be sure to survey them using the partner survey resources as well. Third is deliver and plan your work-based learning engagement. Finalize your plans using NAF's work-based learning resources, identify your specific learning outcomes, tie these to your academy experience and what students are learning in their classroom. Throughout this delivery, we encourage you to identify different tracking material, impact, student stories, and reflections throughout each engagement. After the engagement has concluded and is successful, reflect and codify your learning. Record your student reflections of the experience, noting what went really well and what may need to change during the next work-based learning planning cycle. Use these learnings for academy action planning as you evaluate your academy assessment data or just different data from your school or other work-based learning experiences. And then record the experience as evidence for work-based learning for your continuous improvement cycle. It's a great idea to reuse work-based learning engagements, using the cycle to improve upon them and address the specific needs of each student cohort yearly. A key resource is the Work-Based Learning Plan and Calendar. This resource is designed again to help teams collaborate during the planning process. Review this tool at the beginning of planning work-based learning engagements, either in the spring semester prior to implementation or during the summer as you are ready to launch the school year. Developing a plan prior to the end of the previous school year provides time to access resources and continue work-based learning. In part 1, when we were really just exploring work-based learning, this timeline was a little bit different. We encourage you to understand work-based learning at NAF Next and really pull from those sessions during the summer. That is still a great possibility, but as you develop your work-based learning plan and become more intentional with these activities, it's great to start planning earlier and earlier to involve the stakeholders you need and gain those resources. Identify any specific aspects that are unique to your district, academy, community, and stakeholders throughout this plan. There's also a place on the work-based learning plan and calendar to note any college readiness or career readiness activities that differ from work-based learning, but also will take place in your academy. Integrating work-based learning in daily lessons is a way to encourage continuous skill development and work-based learning engagement. Work-based learning does not have to be a standalone activity, but can and should be incorporated into daily classroom activities. An example of this is that resume reviews easily fit into your standing curriculum if students are preparing for internships or need different sessions with those reviewer mentors. Site visits can easily be tied to learning objectives in your core content classes and really build on experiential learning, making what students are learning in the classroom come alive. Key events in this work-based learning integration include resume workshops, mock interviews, guest speakers, mentoring sessions, mentored industry projects, career interest research and surveys, site visits, and informational interviews. We will continue to expand on this idea of work-based learning in the classroom with new resources helping you implement and integrate work-based learning with your existing lessons. Thank you again for joining us today to expand on our understanding of impactful work-based learning and dive deeper into planning. For more information on implementing work-based learning, check out additional resources and work-based learning videos.